Good afternoon and good evening to all of our partners, friends, and colleagues everywhere in the world. Welcome to this Global Unit Pay technical session. We're going to go and teach you guys how to go and open up from scratch, how to go and verify your Global Unit Pay account, and the best course of action, what you need to go and what steps you need to go and take before you can go and have a fully functional GU Pay account, which is super exciting, especially with all the news, which we will get to very, very shortly. First off, can I please go and get just some 8s in the chat, whether you can go and see me correctly, whether you can go and hear me well. Just get some interactions going. Lovely, awesome. Now, guys, who am I? My name is Aidan Ward. I live here in Melbourne, Australia. I'm the project manager assistant for Global Unit Pay. I'm also one of the co-hosts for the Life of the Brothers of Evorich podcast that are held on Tuesdays and Fridays every single week. I am an agent in the Evorich Partner Program. I was very, very close to getting to consultant. And I'm also a member of the Generals of the World for Peace Association, which really goes and tugs on my philanthropy heartstrings. But without further ado, I'm only one half of tonight's hosts. Without further ado, let me go and bring in my co-host, Marshall Neon Zima. Please go and show your face. Hey! Now, Marshall needs no introduction. He is the project manager of Global Unit Pay. He is a member of the Ambassadors Council, UK representative, vice president of the Evorich Partner Program, blockchain enthusiast, got a master's degree in computer science, entrepreneur, and of course, he's an international speaker. Marshall, how you doing, man?
Hey, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you very much, Aidan, for introduction. Guys, today is an exciting day. Ask me why. Just put in a chat. Why? Why, Marshall? Why is an exciting day today? Just put the why, put the why, put the why. I
Put the
just
Y
want
in, guys.
your interaction. There we go, there we go. So, there we go. I'm going to tell you in a little bit of a second, all right? First of all, I would like to thank Eden, obviously, with this one, with the support he's giving. You can see that he's a very energetic young man, and we want to encourage all the young leaders out there, just come on board, because the future of this company is in your hands, okay? So, now what's the good news? The good news is guys, the button for Global UniPay withdraw option in Evorich, it has become available. So now you can withdraw your money from your Evorich bonuses account via Global Unit Pay. Okay, so hence why today's training is all about to try to get as many of you as possible to get verified, as possible, right? So we just need to go. We're gonna go step by step all the time, every week, right? Just make sure that you always tune in, invite your partners, right? I can see only in English room, I can only see 36 people, guys. Okay? We are about 1.6 million members in our community, and only 36 people. You saw like last week, I showed about 19,000 people who have not even uploaded their documents. So make sure within your teams, within you, whatever you are, encourage people to come to this webinar so that you can stand a chance. Okay, but this is not only the news, guys. For those of you who have crypto, who are familiar with crypto, in the crew tab, you have also an option for withdraw your crypto. You can withdraw Ethereum, and you can withdraw also using Litecoin. So here we go. No more excuses for not withdrawing your money. The company has done everything at its best to provide you the option to withdraw your money. Now we're gonna get started. So obviously this time I'm gonna have Eden helping me out with the first part, and he's gonna go with the first part, and I'm gonna try to take over the second part. Okay? All right? Are you all excited? If you are excited, hit some love, some heart on your screen. I just want to see some heart. Just want to see some heart, good. Or put a 1 or 2, whatever you feel like. There we go. I can see some love already. That's great.
Woo!
That's great.
Alina, we see you. Cora, fantastic, awesome.
Yes, super. Okay, guys. So now the floor is yours, Eden. So show them the way.
Awesome. Next slide, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Okay. Now, to go and start up, your first step is to go and log on to that website straight up the top. Log on to www.gtinet.ch. All right. This will be our portal websites that where you'll be able to enter in the global unit pay back office, and that's going to basically be your bread and butter when using our service. Now, the second step is to open and click the open an account button straight down the bottom. You'll go and see that put in step number 2. Next slide, please. Now, this is where it's really important, right? Really simple as well. You've probably gone and done this many a time. Fill out your first name and your last name in the allocated fields. When completing this field with your email, you need to make sure that it is the same email that you are registered with Evorich. All right. There's a reason behind that. You would have gone and caught that last week if you were one of our attendees. But this is so that we can go and sync everything from Evorich within your global unit pay. So it goes and talks to each other one-to-one. And that's how we go and get all of these bonuses that you've gone and accrued, all of the units, in your back office within Evorich over to global unit pay, where you can go and do all the transfer. You know what a global unit pay is. It's basically the one-stop shop for cryptocurrency, fiat currencies, and going forward, coming soon in the future, we'll go and have commodities as well. Next, password, super simple. It just has to go and include a capital letter, 1 numerical digit, 1 symbol, and be a minimum of 8 characters in length. It doesn't have to go and be the same password as your Evorich account. That's completely independent of each other. Next step, for step number 4, you'll just need to go and click both tick boxes. This is one to go and certify that you are 18 years or older. With global unit pay, you have to be 18 years or above to actually go and have a account in your name. And there are reasons behind it, which we will get to later in the presentation. And the final box, of course, is that you aren't a robot. And this is to go and make sure that every single one of the accounts within global unit pay is going to go and be legitimate, that everyone is who they say they are, that there's no dummy accounts, there's none of that. It's all one for one. If you aren't a robot, or once you go and sign up an account with global unit pay, that's a legitimate person. And the last step, of course, is to go and hit create an account. So next slide, please. Okay, really simple to this page. This is how we go and get started, right? So at the top, you'll go and see the box that I've got on highlighted, which goes and says your account isn't active. Please verify your profile. And this is what this webinar is all about, is teaching you guys how to go and get set up and how to go and be verified in the most seamless, smooth way imaginable. The second step, of course, is just go and click the big blue button that says go to my profile to move to the next step. And I just want to go and make you all aware that down the very bottom, which I've got on highlighted in number 3 in a different color, this is our support email. So any inquiries that you go and have regarding global unit pay, please go and email info@globalunitpay.ch. I'll give you a minute to write that one down if you'd like. Brilliant. Next slide, please. Now, I just want to go and say that for the purpose of this webinar, every single time that you go and see a blue button, that signals that a call to action needs to go and be done. And it will only go and appear blue when it is its time to actually go through the next action. So the very first one, this is something that I went and made a note when I went and did these slides. Personally, I don't go and use Euro or Swiss franc over in Australia. Wherever you might be, you might go and use Euro or the Swiss franc out of the 3 options that we go and have. Going forward, we may go and have more currencies added to global unit pay, but for now we've got Euro, USD, and Swiss franc, and I've gone and selected USD. Next slide, please. Okay. First step, let's go. You will need to go and verify your email. And now that we've gone and selected our preferred currency, we can go and move on to this step. So click the blue button, verify your email, and we'll move to the next part. Next slide. Awesome. So once you've gone and clicked that blue button, you're going to go and receive an email. Should take maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but it may be in your primary email box or it could be in your spam. So definitely do go and check your email in every single folder, every single box, and make sure that you are seeing the Global Unit Pay email, which I'll show you the subject heading on the next slide. So once you go and click that blue button, you have to click that blue button that says resend, just to go and make sure, okay, if you can't go and find it. Next slide. Awesome. So right up the top, account created successfully. Welcome to Global Unit Pay. All right, that's going to be the subject heading from the email verification email that we're going to go and send you. Okay, and then all you need to go and do from there. I personally wouldn't go and copy and paste just in case you go and miss one of the characters in the hyperlink there. But it is hyperlinked for a reason. So for your peace of mind, you can just go and click that big blue link, https://gtinet.ch, confirm email, and then whichever after, and then that'll go and take you to the next part. So next slide, please. Awesome. We're already 1 step down. So now we need to go and just verify our phone verification, okay? So similar sort of thing. Click on the verify your phone to proceed to the next stage of verification. Next slide. Beautiful. So starting with your country code, and for this example, I've gone and used Australian relative information. So it might be different for you depending on where you are. If you don't have an Australian mobile phone number, then that's completely fine. You'll have a different area code. Now, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to select your country right where that flag is. And it's really important that you do go and enter in your country code. Otherwise, it's not going to go and come through correctly, okay? So I've entered in +61, and then usually you'll go and remove the local prefix code, if that makes any sense. So over here for our mobile numbers in Australia, we have a 0 right at the very start. What you'll go and do is you'll go and remove the localized number and then just continue on with whichever digits goes and matches your mobile phone number, okay? Next slide. Awesome. So once you click that big blue button that says verify right down the bottom of the previous slide, sorry, I did go and skip that. Similar sort of thing. You'll receive an email from us. You might even go and receive a text message as well that goes and says phone number added. And it'll go and come up with these details here that goes and says, you know, your mobile number, it'll go and specify. And then it'll also go and show your IP address, the device name, and the time when your number was verified. Okay, so once you go and do that, brilliant, fantastic, and then you'll just be able to go back to the next part of the verification. So just hit the next slide, please. Beautiful. I'm going to go and handball off to Marshall for this next part. So I will see you in a little bit.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thanks a lot, Aidan. That was very clear. Guys, put a plus for Aidan if you understood all the instruction clearly and you know what to do up to this level, okay? Just put a plus if you understand. If you was a bit confused and it was not clear, just put a minus. Great, 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 great. Good stuff. So, Eden, well done. You have explained it very well. So hopefully now I'm going to explain to you the identity information. This is where a lot of people like to get it wrong, especially with the ID. So I'm going to take a little bit time and stress some of the potential errors people like to do. Okay? Right, so if we move to the next slide, you can see that it's step by step. We are on step number 3. Again, by the way, unless you have done all the steps, you won't be fully verified. All the steps you need to be done, need to be submitted and also verified in order for you to start to access the full potential of all the items in the back office. So when you click submit for ID verification, you will get given this this window. Okay. Now, before you hit that start verification button, what you need to do, you need to make sure you have these two things working, okay? You have to have these things ready. First of all, you need to have your webcam working, okay? If you're using a mobile phone, make sure your phone, it's got a camera, a clear camera. If you're using a computer, the same thing, okay? And make sure, the most important thing, make sure you have your valid ID with you, okay? So don't go to this stage and then go off to look for your ID, and because the system will log you out, then you have to restart it again, okay? It's very important before you do that, you have the ID with you ready to go, okay? And then once you're ready, you have these two items, or these two are ready, you click the start verification. Like Eden said earlier, so any blue button you see, that means you need to click on it to take action, okay? It's a highlight to see, you need to click on it. So if we click start verification, you will go to this next page. So let's move to the next slide, please, in all the languages. Right, you will get given this. Now, you need to pay attention a little bit, okay? You can see this gentleman on the top left. They will be showing you like what you need to do. It's very simple, right? You face the front for a few seconds. So I like to say 3 seconds each movement, okay? So because the total, it need to be no more than 10 seconds, okay? You put 3 seconds here. You can count if you want. 1, 2, 3. And then you move to the right. 1, 2, 3. And you move again to the left. 1, 2, 3. And then you move back in front like this. Very simple, right? And this gentleman is showing you how to do it, yeah? You got it? Now, once you're ready, you need to click this blue button again that says start video recording. Now, when this video recording starts, you will see a countdown. So if you go to the next slide, so you will see a countdown first. You will see this information first before you see the countdown. Then you select the country. So document a country of issue, which means if your document have been issued from Colombia, you type Colombia, yeah, whatever document is from. So it doesn't mean necessarily where you live, etc., etc. Okay, that is where the document has been issued. So you select the country here from the drop-down menu, and then you select from the list. That's the number one. Number two, you need to select which type of document is it. Is it a passport? Is it a driving license? Is it an identity card? Now, most of the countries, you have to have a passport, okay? Now, if you don't have a passport for now, don't stress too much. Start the process of getting the passport, okay? Because it is better to get the right documentation than just trying to rush through, submit anything, and you get declined, and you get banned. No, just find the right documentation first, and then you wait. Once you get it, you start this process, okay? Then you select which type of document, and then you need to click I confirm my identity. So you are confirming your identity. And then the next slide, if we go to the next slide, once you click that confirm, this is when then you will be asked to take a photo. Now, you take a photo, there is two ways. You can take a live photo by showing you documents you have in your hands in a camera, okay? Make sure it is clear at the back. Make sure the light is nice so all the information can be visible. You will be given a chance to see that document. You can tell when the document is a bit blurry or not. If it is blurry, please click the button that will say retake. I'll show you later on. Or the second option you have is if you have a document already downloaded or scanned on your device. It could be on a photo, for example, you've taken the document and it is in your photo, or it is on your computer. You have this option on the bottom left that says, upload a photo. So you don't have to do it live, but you can upload an already document and that you have taken already, okay? Once you've done that, we go to the next slide. Once you've taken the picture, it will show you in a box automatically. It will show you like a click, like a tick. That means it has been uploaded, and it will give you this option here to make sure you verify. Now, from here, this is what is important. Make sure, because what you see, that's what the KYC officers will see. Okay, so if the document here is very blurry or is not very clear, please make sure you click this re-upload. Can you see on the bottom left there is a re-upload? Re-upload it again to make sure it is clear. Don't just try to hit submit for a final approval when you can see yourself that it is not very clear, because it is not, if it is not clear to you, it is also not going to be very clear to the KYC officer, people who does the verification, and then they will just decline you. Okay, so just to reduce the heartache or the frustration from everybody, just try to make sure it is readable. Okay, once you're happy with this one, you need to click submit for a final approval. Now once you click that button, you will go to the next slide. Let's move to the next step. All right, then now you need to confirm your personal information according to the document you submitted. Okay, because I have seen it. I have seen some situation where, for example, a person was married. Okay, their document they submitted, it is with their married name. Okay, but when they, and for example they divorce for whatever reason, for situation, and then here when you complete the information, you put your name as your maiden name, you put your name as before you got married. You can see that the information are not the same. So you have to type in the same information as you have on your passport. Only when you, for example, you have received another document that shows your real name with that married name, then you re-upload that document and then you complete this process again. Do you understand, guys? Because I've seen some frustration that people say, look, I've uploaded this document, I've done everything right, but when people look at the documentation, they do not match. The name do not match. Okay? I'm going to talk something about also on address verification, because it's very important. I've seen some of the stuff that hopefully it will save you from making this mistake. Okay? So you put your title, whether you're Miss, you're Mr., and then you put your date of birth as it is in passport. Okay? And then you put your given name, which is like your first name, you give your surname there, and then you give your citizenship. You select the country that you are citizen of. Okay, so for example, whatever nationality you have on your passport, you put it in there, and then you put identity document expiration date. So every document, every passport, they will have an expiration date. Some documents I've got to learn, they don't have an expiration date somehow. That's why it's important to have a passport, because it will have an expiration date. Okay, and then once all these information are completed properly, now I have seen some people who were frustrated about, oh, the system doesn't allow me to go any further. The next button is still gray, is not blue. That is because the information you put in here, they are not correct. It's trying to tell you, the system is trying to stop you from going to the next step when the information are not correct. So if this is blue, this next button, it doesn't turn blue, double check the information. That maybe there is something you missed, or maybe the date of birth, you wrote them in a different format, which is not according to the format they require. Okay, so it's very important to pay attention to these small details. Once you've done everything correct, the next button will become blue. Then you click on it. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, once you click on it, then here now you need to confirm your personal address. Okay, the address, remember, this is important. This, whatever address you're gonna put here, make sure is the same address you will have on the proof of address you're gonna submit. Okay, very, I cannot stress this enough. The address you're gonna put here, make sure it's going to be the same as the document of a proof of address you're going to submit. So before you complete any of this information, make sure you go to your whatever proof of address is, if it's a bank statement, if it's a bill, utility bill, or whatever it is, or residency permit. Make sure the address you've got here is going to match the address you're going to put here. Exactly like for like, if you don't want to have any issues. Do you understand? Great. So you put the address, and you put the city, you put the postal code. Some, it could be zip code. Some country they use zip codes, some country use postcode. So whatever the number is, you put it there, and then you put the country of residence. Okay. Country of residence, it could be different to the country you was born in. It could be different to the country that you have nationality in. Okay, make sure this is a country where you live, because the bill is going to be the country you live in. Okay, it will be the country you live in. And then once you complete all this information correctly, the next button will become blue, so clickable. So then you click to the next to move to the next point. Let's move to the next slide. Now that's it about the identity verification, right? Now I'm gonna pass over to Eden, who's going to take you through the individual application form, and I will come back later on approval address. Okay, and then the floor is yours.
Awesome, awesome. Hey guys, just put in some reactions as well, some ones and some pluses. If what Marshall just went and said makes complete sense. I just want to go and add as well that in this previous section that we've just gone through, awesome, Ravi, absolute legend. Gemma, thank you. In that last section, this is about how the government knows you. Okay, so it's really important that you go and provide details as to how the government would go and identify you. And that's going to go and help our KYC and KYB team who go and do all the verification. That's going to go and make their life so much more smoother and so much easier. And they'll just be able to go and say, tick, tick, Sarjan, love your work, man. Thank you. All right, next slide, please. Awesome, guys. So this is the individual's application form. This is where you're going to go and provide similar sort of information that you've already gone and made within the ID verification part that Marshall just went through. As you can see, pretty stock standard. This is where you're going to go and put in your first name, then your current last name as the government goes and knows you, any former names that you've been known by. So that would be, given names, any surnames, maiden names, whichever goes and applies. And of course, any other names that you would have been known by somewhere in the world at any given point in time. Now, with the personal identification number, this is for the specific document that you went and uploaded in the previous section. Okay, so whether it's passport, whether it's proof of age, an ID card, or whether it's driver's license, depending on where you are, different documents are going to go and be available, I suppose, forms of identity for verification. Then you'll go and enter in the personal identification number. And in this example, I went and actually used the driver's license number that I went and had in previous slides. Then, of course, you just want to go and put in, your date and place of birth. Make sure that when you are doing your date of birth, that it is in the format of year first, so Y, followed by the month, then followed by the date. Okay, really important that you do go and enter it in that specific format. Otherwise, it's going to go and be a big sounding alarm to the KYC guys that, hey, this is the wrong information that we've been supplied, and then straight off. Make sure that you go and enter in the city and the country that you were born in. So this will be found on your birth certificate. I think that's pretty straightforward. Next slide, please. And where you would go, and this is where you go and put your current residence address and make sure that once again, it goes and matches what is on the document you went and uploaded for verification. Cannot stress that enough. I can only imagine just how many people have gone and, not been verified, or have gone and had an email saying, can you please explain this, simply because they've gone and entered information that isn't matching their their identification document that they've gone and provided. And it's really important that we go and make sure that at all times that we are providing information, that it does go and match how the government actually knows you. And then down the track, if you need to go and change your information, then there are options to go in and do so. But right now, our job is just to go and get you set up and also verified. Okay. And then, of course, down to the next part, you'll go and put in your any alternative address for mailing or other purposes. But of course, you won't have to go and it won't go and apply for everyone. If you do need to go and say yes, then please do so. But another field will go and drop down, similar to your current residential address, where you'll be able to go and enter in that relative information. Next slide, please. Awesome. Similar sort of thing, guys. Cannot stress this enough. Make sure that when you are doing this next part, that it is relevant to what you've gone and provided thus far. Okay, so your primary citizenship, country of citizenship, would be on the passport if you go and use the passport. And if there are any cases of dual citizenship, then in the second field, if it does apply to you, please, that's where you would go and enter in other countries of citizenship that goes and applies. The next part is to provide your contact details. This one's really, really easy. All we have to do is just match the same information that we went and did right at the very start when we verified our email and when we verified our mobile phone number. Okay, so just make sure that that information matches the same as what we went and did right at the start, and we can move on to the next part. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to handball this one off to Marshall because it is really, really important. And he goes and explains this a whole lot better than myself. Marshall, am I able to handball off to you, mate?
Yes, sure, no problem. Thanks, Aiden. So, good explanation for the previous slide. Again, yes, this one is very important because some people get confused when it comes to here. Ideally, we probably you're not a politically exposed person, but it doesn't have to be you. So it could be a relative, it could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your boyfriend, long-term partner, it could be anybody close to you who are politically exposed. They're asking you, and then you tick yes, because if you don't tick yes, okay, they will find out, because these KYC officers, again, I like to stress the KYC officers, they are not part of our business. Okay, this is an external company that has been tasked to do the KYC for regulation rules. We have to have an external company which doesn't have any bias. Okay, so it's an external company. Global Pass is an external company. So they will have a big database of people politically exposed, all these kind of names. Okay, it will be highlighted. So some names, you might have a name that is the same as a politician somewhere, and you could be flagged easily that you are a politician, but you might not be a politician. When this happens, don't panic too much, because you just have to explain. And what I always tell people is, you have some box of comments at the end, right? When you have a box at a comment, just put as much details as possible, okay? So that the KYC officer look at it, okay, if she sees something doesn't make sense, she can look at your comment, she can say, okay, that's probably why, okay? Do you understand? Anything that is out of the ordinary, put extra comment on it, okay? And so ideally is to tick no, because anybody who tick yes, you cannot create an account by default if you are a politically exposed person. So if you think I'm a politically exposed person, but if I tick yes, I will be declined, and you try to cheat by doing no when you are a politically exposed person, the system will pick you up. The KYC will pick you up. So it's better to say yes and put some comment later on. Why? And then your case will be dealt with on individual basis. Do you understand? Okay. So this system is just automation, and it will go through an individual. We look, okay, this match, and decline or not. But if you have been declined, instead of continue pushing the same documentation, just stop. Okay, that means there is something you done wrong, which not to the standard of the KYC people. Try to clarify, either from support, maybe they will pinpoint of what you went wrong. okay? And then you can submit the proper document instead of just keep forwarding. Because if you continue to spam the system like this, you will just get blocks, okay? You don't want to do that. You don't want that. And also the company don't want that, all right? So the idea is to put a no, but if you are a politically exposed person, you have to put a yes, to be honest. Because here, there is a box that says, I confirm the information provided above regarding politically exposed person is correct. So if you have lied, it is not a good look. Okay, if you are lied about this one, what else can you lie? That, remember, think like that. Okay, you have to be honest, but try to provide as much as information as possible. All right, so don't make this mistake. Otherwise, you get banned and you will never be able to create an account with Global UniPay because they have a reputation to protect. If anything goes wrong and the regulators sue our company, we will sue the Global Pass because they're the one who took charge of this. So they don't want to take that risk. They have to make sure everything is correct. And they are very strict about that. So that's why you have to be careful and you have to be honest as much as possible. All right. Let's move to the next slide. Brilliant. So here now, the country of residence for tax purposes. Like I explained last time, you could be, like, for example, British. You could be from England, and then you have a British passport, but you're working in Dubai, for example, and then you have a working permit in Dubai, or you have a residence in Dubai, okay? So here, this is the country of residence for tax purposes. If you're paying taxes in Dubai, even though you are English or British, you have to put Dubai here. Okay, because that's the country of residence. That's where you live now. It's not the country where you was born. It's not the country where you hold citizenship. It's the country of residence. Okay, where you have the right to live there. And TIN, the tax number. This is normally the TIN is for you put your tax number, and if it's not available, you just tick that box, the TIN unavailable, and then at the box you have to explain why it is not available. But normally the TIN is for the US. It's called it's for the US people. But in your country you will have a tax identification number in your country. There are so many different countries. They have different type of like for some country they call it a NEEW. And in the UK, you can have a UTR, unique tax reference number, and other countries they can have a different one. Okay, it's a tax identification number. You just need to put it there, and then if it is unavailable, you just put unavailable, and you have to explain why. And this is important. If you don't put it there, you tick like, for example, unavailable. It is important that you specify the reason why you don't have it. Crucial. If you don't put it, it will just be declined. All right, and then you need to tick either A, B, or C whether you are a US citizen or not. Okay, so if you are not a US citizen, you put a C. If you are, say for example, confirm that I was born in the US or in the US territory, but I am no longer a US citizen. Yeah, all this kind of stuff. So you tick an option that is relevant to you. All right. It's very simple. So now let's move to the next slide. Now here, this is very, very, very important. In this one, they're asking you information about sources of funds. Now this is for anti-money laundering, okay? So they want to make sure the money that comes into the system is clean money. No, not some kind of dirty money you can't prove where you got the money from, okay? That's the whole point. The AML has been put in place, and the KYC to verify the identity. KYC is to identify the identity of the person, and AML is to identify the sources of fund, where the money come from. So here, the best option you should select is salary if you are employed, or you can put self-employed if you are. So for example, you promote only the Evorich business, and then you get your main source of income is Evorich. You select self-employed because we all sign an agreement that we are self-employed in our Evorich when we sign the documents, okay? On the left-hand side, these are the two options you select. On the right-hand side, these are information about the occupation. So now, if you put that you are unemployed, and then later on you put like $15,000 in it, they will highlight it like a question mark. I mean, you say you're unemployed, how did you get it? You have to select one of these options at least on the left. And here on the right, you can only select one option. So on the left, you can select multiple choice, okay? But on the right hand side is what we call, you've got a radio button, which only allow you to select only one. You have to select one of the other. And if you put other, if you find what you do is not in this list, you can select other, and then you just put in a box, explain what it is you do. Don't just put other and leave it blank, okay? Give as much as information as possible to the KYC officer who's gonna be going through that. Yes? Okay, so let's go to the next slide, please. So now, the purpose of opening an account. Now they want to know, why are you opening this account? Because you are opening a bank account, remember? Okay, because when you go to bank, they will ask you why you open a bank account. You know, either because you want to pay your salary or because you want to do other stuff. You have to spend the same thing here because we are following the rules of banking regulations. So the best option here that are easy and is general is household expenses and personal expenses. You tick these boxes. That is general. All right. And on the right hand side where it says customer account with other banks. Now, here what they're trying to find out, they want to know what are other banks that you have apart from this one. So if you have a bank in the UK, if you have a bank wherever you're from, you put this bank here, and you see then on the next slide how it's going to be relevant. And you put the name. They just want the name. They don't want the sort code. They don't want the account number. They don't want any of that. It's just the bank name and what country is that bank. Okay. If you have more than one, you have an option to add a second one there. Now, it is important, the box at the bottom that say, please specify the purpose of opening an account. Even though you have ticked those boxes, just put like a small text, an explanation what you want. Here, I always advise people to put, okay, I am opening for household expenses and personal expenses. You're just confirming what you tick there. That's it. Yeah. Now, let's move to the next slide. Now, here, this is now the two. They want to know, okay, where the money is going to come from, what country, okay, or what jurisdiction, where the money is going to come from. On the right hand side is if you want to withdraw the money, where is it going to go to? That's the right hand side. So the left, country from which funds will be received, which means money you top up from whatever country, from whatever bank to Global Unit Pay, okay? And then you need to select what is relevant here. So if it's not in Europe or if it's not Switzerland, you have to select other, and you have to set what country or what continent, okay? If it's South America, you put South America, but it is best to put your country. That way you have those banks, okay? And country to which funds will be transferred to. Now, this is apply for example, once you receive money into Global Unit Pay, at some point, once you withdraw your money from Evorich and it goes to Global Unit Pay, you will want it to withdraw it, for example, either on a card, on a debit card, or you want to transfer it to your bank account in the country you're from. So here, this is important to select like a country. You click other if it's not European Union or Switzerland, you put a country, so that when you do that movement, when you do those withdrawal, there is no question mark. You have already stated what country, so it won't be flagged in terms of AML and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then services that you plan to use for this bank, you tick all the three. So currency exchange, because you're gonna do some currency exchange, and your money transfer, you're gonna do some money transfer, so you're gonna use it, and payment and electronic money account. So this also, you tick all those three boxes. Okay, monthly turnover fund. Now this is important, not to exaggerate too much. Now the average is about between the two options, between 1,000 to 5,000 euro, or between 5,000 to 10,000 euros. Okay, you just tick one of the other, but don't try to go too crazy of number, because they will ask you extra information which you might not have. Okay, now step number 4 and 5. Here now, this is where you go. So they're asking you, will you first deposit to your account? Your first deposit to your account exceed 15,000. Now, anything that exceeds 15,000, you will need extra verification of the source of fund for anti-money laundering. Okay, that's why, for example, you can never carry cash more than $10,000 or pound or euros, whatever, in cash. If you have to have a proof if you carry more than that. All right. So the idea here is to put no. Okay, not to put any amount exceeding that, because then we require extra verification, which you might not have. All right. So let's move to the next slide, please. Now in here, I think it's the same one. So this is pretty much the same one. So let's move to the next. All right. Now in here, you are confirming now the statement that you are the beneficiary owner of the account or the funds that are going to be in your account, and that you are confirming that you are acting on your behalf. This is a legally binding you are signing. Okay. Just make sure it is you, not somebody else doing on your behalf. If it's you, you tick yes. If it's no, you tick no. If somebody is filling this on your behalf, you tick no. If you have a disability, because you can have a disability, there is no discrimination here, you put no, and you need to explain, the person we have to explain why they're filling it on your behalf. Okay, people just need to know, and then you won't be liable if any information that is put there is wrong information, for example. And then you need to confirm the statement that you confirm that you complete all this questionnaire, etc. Once it's done, the blue button is there, highlighted in blue, so you click submit. Now let's move to the next slide. Once you submit, that's the questionnaire. Now this is important. I have received some complaints, I have seen some complaints, some emails, or people say, look, I've tried to complete this form, but it does not allow me to submit. Okay, now if you are one of the person there who have had this problem, because when you click submit the information, some people think I have submitted my information. Okay, but that's not the case. Until you complete this step I'm just going to show you, you have not submitted that form. All right, so here they just want to do like a second verification, like a 2FA verification. You will get given to this slide here. You see where it says enter the second step verification code. Now some people, or you expect this email to be, this code to be sent automatically once you hit submit. This email, this code, it doesn't get sent automatically. Okay, you have to do something. You see this button that says request code via email? You have to press it. You have to physically press that button. Okay, and then they will send you the code. All right, and then you need to get that code and you need to enter. It's gonna be 6-digit code. You enter this 6-digit code in there, and then you click submit button. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Right, so this is the code. When you click request code by email, they will send you the code to the email that you registered with, right? And the code will be like this. Then you take that code, you copy it, okay, and then paste it in that little box, and then you need to click submit. Let's move to the next slide. You see here in the image, copy that number, put in that little box, yeah, and then now you click the submit button. Remember, how did you do it to get the code? You click the 4A. See the image that says 4A, request code via email. You click that. The email will get sent like the previous email you just saw. You take the number, the 6-digit number, you copy and paste it in this little box. And then once you copy there, you paste it there, then you hit the submit, which is 4C. Once you hit submit, that's the final submission of the form. Now let's move to the next slide. Brilliant. So once the form has been submitted, then you will see next to individual application form, you will see processing. Yes? You can see you've got step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, and those 2 which doesn't have a step, but you have to complete all of these for you to have full verification. All right. Now let's move on to the proof of address. Okay. Now proof of address should be easy enough. Let's click on submit file next to the proof of address. Let's move to the next slide. Now once you click submit the file for proof of address, you will get given this box, okay? Title, proof of address. Now here, it is important. Read this text. They are telling you, because some people have told me, I've seen some people through the emails, they say, I don't have utility bill. It is not just utility bill you can send. You can send bank statement. You can send post office or saving account statement. You can send any document issued by the government that show the address. So for example, if you've got a residency certificate, for example, that show your address, your name and address, you can also submit that, okay? So it's not just utility bills. It's not just electricity bills. It's not just because I have some people are saying, okay, in my country, utility bills, it goes to my husband, or my utility bill goes to the landlord. No problem. You have bank statement. Bank statement doesn't go to you doesn't go to your landlord. Bank statement doesn't go to, if you have a bank account, it doesn't go to your husband name or whatever. You need to make sure, here is important, the document you're going to submit as a proof of address, it needs to be on your name, not anybody else's name. Not your husband, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, nobody else, not your child. It needs to be in your name. This is it. Okay? There is no negotiation, because otherwise how can they prove that you are who you are? Okay? Do you understand? It's very important. And in here, what you need to do, you can upload in two ways. Okay? You can drag it from your desktop if you have it. You drag it into that box that say drag and drop file here, and then the document will be uploaded. Or you can attach it by clicking the attach files, and then you open another window to go to your computer to find where that file is, and then you upload it. All right? And very important, whatever document you submit here, you need to make sure it has been issued within the last 3 months. It needs to be within the 3 months. We have seen documents that have been submitted that like expired last month, or they only have 1 month left, or I mean, you need to be, that document, it needs to be within 3 months, has been issued within 3 months, not 4 months ago, not 6 months ago, not 1 year ago, etc. Okay, so it needs to be in your own name. The address, it needs to match the same address you entered previously, okay, and it needs to also be within the last 3 months. Very, very, very important. All right. And once you uploaded the document, again, if, for example, you submit a document like for a proof of residence, for example, and the proof of residence got your address and etc., but it doesn't have like it doesn't, it was issued 6 months ago, right? You can see there is a box at the bottom that says add the comments. This is where you can add the comments. Okay. In my country where I live, there is a proof of residence, is this and this, and it has been issued this, so they don't issue within the last 3 months. Or, for example, if you submit a document that is KYC officer might refuse that. But if, for example, you have a bank account, but your bank account is in your husband, and you also your name is a joint account, for example. If you don't have any choice, if you don't have any other document in your name, which is a legal document, you can try to submit that. However, in the comment, you have to explain, okay? Please, I don't have this, but I have this under my husband and my name. You can see my name is there, everything. Just put as many details as possible in the comment. So when the KYC officer sees that, when they see your husband name, so they don't just say no, they can read the comment. Yeah? You understand? Because remember, these are human beings, they are no robots, so they will read the information. All right? And once you submit everything here, the submit details, it will be highlighted in blue, so which means it's ready for submission. Now, if this submit details button, it doesn't become blue and stay gray, what it means the document has not been uploaded properly. Okay, either the file maybe is too big, okay, or either the format of the document is not a JPEG or a PDF, it's something else. Okay, So you need to make sure the document is original, or if it's a scanned copy, make sure it's a scanned copy of the original. Okay, I've seen so many Photoshop, really terrible stuff. People take Photoshop and they change the document. The system will pick this up, guys. Yeah, make sure you do the original and you scan the original. All right. If a clue is, if you don't see this submit details button, it become blue. This is a clue for you that either the document you submitted, it has not been attached properly, okay, or the format is not the correct one. So make sure you check that first, double check it, okay. And it happened to so many partners like this one, and they bang their head against the wall. Why this is not submit? Because this is it. All right. Now, once the button is become blue, then you can click submit details. Now, let's move to the next slide. Now, when you submit details, normally, okay, this slide, it is in the wrong place. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. All right. No, normally when you submit the details, you will go where you say processing. Okay, you will go where you say processing your proof of address. It will show you again in processing, because that's what you need to submit for the proof of address. Okay. Now, in the previous slide, if you can go to the previous slide, what it was trying to show you. Let's move to the previous slide, please. In all the languages. All right. In the previous slide, what is trying to show you is here is how you can also find the user ID. Okay. Here, this is the user ID is important, because this is user ID. You're going to need it for so many different things. When you want to transfer money internally to another user, you can send them using this user ID. Also, if you send a query to the support, make sure you also send your user ID, because that's how they can identify you easily. Okay, so this is important. And how you find the user ID, you under the next to the name, you can see an arrow pointing there. You click on it, you will have this menu, and then you can see this user ID. All right, that's basically it, how you can verify. So we managed to do it within 57 minutes for now. So we're gonna leave few minutes for the Q&A. Again, the more we're gonna do this, the easier probably it will get. We're gonna get shorter and shorter, because we're gonna be doing this on a weekly basis. So if you have any other question, we're gonna give you like 5 minutes of Q&A. Put it in the Q&A box. Don't put in a chat, in the normal chat. Put in under the Q&A. Okay. It's gonna have 5 minutes where we can answer your question.
I just want to go and add on to that. If we can just go back to the previous slide, just for one more thing. Previous slide. Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. All right, cool. So with that unique user ID, we went and touched on it today as well. With the Global Unit Pay button in the Evorich tab, it specifically goes and asks you what your Global Unit Pay ID is. So in order for you to go and transfer your units out from Evorich into Global Unit Pay, you need to have this ID. So that's a very important detail to go and make note, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we've got a couple of questions.
Right, okay.
All right, first question. What are the charges for receiving and sending crypto? Question 2 from Mr. Singh. What type of crypto wallet is hot or cold? Is there any insurance cover if the wallet gets hacked?
Okay, so question number 1, just to answer your question number 1, the charges, first of all, you pay your network fees, whatever you're sending from, network Bitcoin fees. But in our back office, I think it's about 6% or something like that. But when you send the payment, you will see a percentage that it will show there. Okay, I think it's about 6%. Number 2, what type of crypto wallet is hot or cold? Now, this in a global unit pay, it is a bit secure. You got it's a hot wallet, obviously, because it's online, but it is insured when you store your asset there. Okay, it is insured. Valentin probably will be able to clarify in more of that in future webinars. But the wallet in a global unit pay, they issue, but it's hot wallet, not a cold wallet. Okay.
Yeah. I've got
Um,
a question that's just come from the Hindi interpreter, who went and asked, if someone's gone and put in their incorrect phone number, how do they modify that?
Right. The incorrect, if you send in you just send it to the email Eden show you at the beginning, the customer support, and then make sure you send them that, and then you send them the your user ID, like we just showed you, and then and then you send them the new number you want to change it to, and they might be able to do that for you. All right.
Hmm.
Uh, so answer the live. When blocked account will be released? Well, it depends. It depends why your account was blocked. Okay, so we need to look in more details on that. So if your account has been blocked, send again to the support, and then send them your ID. Okay, it's very important. Every time you create an account, please take a note of that ID, user ID, because you will be asked that user ID when you do a correspondence with support. Okay, so you can send it to them, and then they will see. It depends. It depends why you've been blocked, because the customer, they will have to request this information, the customer support, from the KYC people, because KYC members, remember, they are different to our support. Support is just your first channel of connection between you and the KYC. Okay, so you send to the support, then they will check why, and then maybe it's good to send them the email you receive why you was blocked, because when you are rejected or you are blocked, they send you the information why. Okay. Are there any
Oh, here's a
restrictions?
good one.
What's
Oh,
that?
yeah, yeah. Are there any restrictions on the amount of crypto that can be received or sent?
There is not any restriction, but if the amount of total crypto is over that 15,000, you will be asked to provide the proof of source of income, source of fund. Where did you get that from? So you will need to provide extra. So you will be asked for the anti-money laundering regulation. You will be asked to provide extra step, but there is no limit of what you can receive or send. Does it? I mean, if you're talking about from the average back office, is 3,000 units per week, but in global unit pay, there is no limit. I don't think so.
Cool.
Um, does it tell you what a politically exposed person? Yes, if you read those information, John, it does tell you. It could be a friend, it
It's
could be
point three.
a business partner. So in that form, if you read those content, that text, it does explain clearly what a politically exposed person is. When can we transfer USDU from Unitex to GUP? Well, that one is going to come. Is going to come soon, and the other also stable coins has been added. It's been worked on USDU, USDC, and USDU. You have already USDU, sorry, USDC in global UniPay. So USDU is going to be added soon as well in there. Okay.
Question from Yulia from the French room. Hello, can we have an address with supporting documents different from the passport following a move to open an account?
Okay,
I
so
think we covered that one, which was to go and enter in the information correct to the passport, and then to contact support via info@globalunitpay.ch to go and issue a change of address. That's correct, isn't it?
yes. You issue change of address, and you will be asked to provide the new address, and also you will take a selfie or with your passport as well. They will need to see the person who want to change the address is the actual person, right? And also they will want to see the new document, and they will change that for you. All right. Okay, when can we get the GUP card? Okay, so it's gonna come soon. At the moment, there's some cards that have been tested, but it's gonna come soon. But Unfortunately, this is because the banking regulation, only the European countries will start first. Okay, in European jurisdiction we start first, and then more option will be open up for all other countries in the world. Okay.
Awesome. Amisha Kunwa has gone and just asked, what if we are a student and have no source of fund?
Well, no, you have a source of fund, because if you have earned money there is a source of fund. There has to be a source of fund. It's as you saving or somebody gave it to you from your family. There is always a source of fund, because that the money didn't come from the sky. Okay, there is always a source of fund. So even if you're a student, if you are a networker in Evorich, for example, this is your source of fund. This is a business. You are building a business. You are an entrepreneur, and then you are receiving commission for the marketing expertise you're providing for Evorich. So that is a source of income. That's a source of fund. Okay. So whatever money, you have to show a source of fund. If somebody gave it to you, or it's a saving account. So source of fund doesn't mean always a job. Okay. Source of fund is different. It's many different stuff. All right.
2FA hasn't been working from the beginning. 2 email have been sent. Nothing has happened. I cannot get onto the Unitex for over a month. Maureen, we don't have any available help for Unitex. This is just specifically for Global Unit Pay. Is it relating to your GU Pay account, or is it specifically for Unitex?
It's Unitex, that does not apply to us.
Yeah.
So what you can do, you can write to Unitex support, and they will be able to help you. Okay. This webinar is purely for verification and all that, for just Global Unit Pay. All right. In Hindi interpreter say, my account not verified because criminal record certificates, clearance certificate. What is criminal record? Okay, good question, because we get so many of these questions. Now look, guys. So if the KYC, I have told you, the KYC officers, they are independent people from our company. They don't know you. They don't know whether you are a doctor. They don't know whether you are military. They don't know what status in your country you have. Okay, they don't know, and they don't really care about that too much. Okay, so what is important is when they ask those information, when they have any doubt, they will ask you this document. Now, this document, please be aware, this document is not an accusation to you that you are a criminal. It is not, okay? Because if whatever you are in a bank, they can request that. When you go to find a job, especially when you work in a job with a sensitive jobs or information, they will ask you criminal record. It doesn't mean they are accusing you that you are criminal. You are criminal, right? Because I've seen some people who get upset. They, how dare you? You asking me criminal? I'm not a criminal. All this kind of stuff. Please do not get offended, because they are not accusing you that. All right? Just get a peace of mind. They just want to be clear. And then this criminal record certification, you go to your police or whatever people who provide that to you in your country, and they will give you clearance. They will just specify, okay, this person has no any criminal, has no any record, and they will stamp it. That's the document they need, an official document, guys. Okay? They are not accusing you on anything. They know, just provide it. If you really want to get verified, just provide it. There is nothing. If you don't have anything to hide, just got to find it. Just provide it.
They're not a simple voice check.
Yes. Don't make it any big deal of it if you are asked this document. Okay? They are not trying to say that you are a thief or anything like that. No. This is just a simple procedure they ask when they're in doubt. And especially, this is Swiss jurisdiction doing this kind of stuff. So they are very strict. Okay? They are very strict. And this is why also Swiss jurisdiction was also chosen. It's one of the reasons, because it's a very safe, and they do really rigorous checks on people. So we don't want to have anything goes wrong with this company in the future, because the bigger goal for us is in the future to have a banking license in the future, long term. Yes. So this is not something that you just get when you have a bad name. Okay. So you are all co-owners of the global portfolio, which is also take advantage of this one. So we need to protect it. So don't be offended or anything like that. They just want to know those information and just give it to them. Give the information they provide, guys. Okay. So the person who asks what is it, I just explained what it is. Where you can get it, you tend to get maybe from the police department or from, I don't know. Many countries got different rules, but you need to find out where you can get it in your country and just get it and upload it. That's it.
There was one more question that Misha went and asked before, which was, what if we don't have our own named electricity bill or related document verified by the government of the last step?
Well, then unfortunately, you won't be able to get verified. So you have to find it. Yeah. If you don't have it, look, not having it is not a problem. But you need to go to find it. The same thing with the passport. Some people don't have it. I understand it. But you can go to find it. Start the process and don't upload any document. Start the process of finding them, because if you are a citizen of any country or whatever, you can find those documents. Those are not documents that cannot be found, that cannot be applied for. Okay, you need to find it. This is not something. This is not something from us. Like, guys, with the Evorich, with the back office, with the API, is a relaxed KYC. Okay, it's a relaxed KYC. The global UniPay, the global pass, it is not a relaxed, because we are dealing with the banking regulations of other places, for other countries. It's not us. If it was up to us, we just verify people, but then that will put us in trouble in future. That's not what you want. That's not all of us want. Okay. All right. So what happened? Okay, Lars. What happened when we transfer bonuses from Evorich to GUP? Where did the bonus go, Cardon? Okay. So when you withdraw, I think it will take 3 days for the money to get to you global UniPay, because when you get an invoice like a pay slip, okay, and on there it will say when the invoice has been generated. And it will say also the expected of invoice payment. It's about 3 days, okay? It will go to you global UniPay balance, I think quantum assets, okay? You will see in your balance there. And then you will be able to send it to your bank. All right. I'm facing some problem. Email ID is registered in GUP. And when log it is showing message password not much, but when we reset password show, yeah. So that's because maybe the account has been blocked. So you need to contact support and give them your user ID. They look into it why this is happening. Okay. All right. That's
Been a
ID.
couple.
Okay, that's ID. Okay, yeah, a couple questions just and then that's it. Does ID card mean citizenship? Citizenship means where you are a national of. So if you have, I'm guessing if you have an ID card, no, you can have an ID card, but you can be just a resident ID card. So you might not be a citizen of that country. Okay, let me just keep it simple. So if you was born, for example, in India, you are an Indian citizen. You can get Indian passport. But then you go to Dubai to work in Dubai, for example, or you go to work in Italy, or you go to work in England. And then you go to England, you ask for work permit. You have a work permit visa in your passport, and then later on, after I don't know, after 4 to 3 years, they give you like in UK they don't give ID, but some other country they give ID, a residence ID card. The ID card it proves you residence. It does not prove you citizenship. A document that proves your citizenship is your passport, your national passport. Okay. What if we don't?
Marshall,
Yeah.
can we have the question from the Russian room? So,
Sure.
could you please remind the person what to do if you have the same name as a renowned politician?
Okay. Yeah. If you have the same name as renowned politicians, you obviously you tick no, but you put in a comment. My name it looks the same as the pronounced politician, this and this and this and so, but we are not related. Do you understand? So that you are not declined automatically.
Yeah.
You understand? Because it does happen. It does happen. So there's so many country names are the same. So you just highlight it. And my name is this, and you can see on a passport. But I've got the same name, but I'm not related to that person. And they will check it. They will check it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
we will see you. I mean, tomorrow I will be doing a presentation, and make sure you invite people tomorrow, 3 p.m. Moscow. I'll be doing a presentation on Global UniPay opportunity. Okay. Global UniPay opportunity, how, why it was created, first of all, why do we have Global UniPay, and then what you can do to earn money moving forward in Global UniPay. So make sure you invite everybody, make sure you attend, and we're looking forward to see you there, okay? And then have a great day, and wherever you are. And I don't know if Eden wants to say something about this card.
Oh, I actually don't know why that got put in there. Must have been
Yeah, this is the card. I mean, let me mention something. So this card, this gold card, is a card that it's been tested. You've seen in some channels. This card been going around. So some of the cards that have been testing. You can see how nice it looks. Okay, so yeah, looking forward to be able to ship. Like I said, these cards will start to be issued or shipped to the individual from the European Union only. Okay, all right. Okay, guys. So have a great day, and we'll see you same time next week for these KYC. But tomorrow, make sure you attend the webinar for the Global UniPay opportunity presentation. Bang bang. I'll see you next week. Bye.
See ya. Bye.